Men, men and women of culture, welcome back to the channel. Your boy Senzu. We're back at it again. We are back with another video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for just being here supporting me. I'm not even going to ask for much because you guys have done the best that we possibly could. If you're new to the channel, my name is Senzu. Talk about video games, talk about RPGs, talk about whatever I actually really want to talk about, because that's really what YouTube is about. Just expressing yourself, being the best version of yourself as you possibly can, and not taking the piss out of it. But without further ado, we're going to hop into the video. Let me stop rambling. We're going to talk about a particular game I've really been looking forward to ever since it was announced. Without further ado, let's hop into the video. Avowed has to be one of those games that's a very weird one, right? It's one of those games where a lot of people get a lot of flack for either liking or hating, because of how the rollout has been. From the first premiere trailer we got of Avowed, we painted like with a dark RPG, with a lot of dark RPG features like, oh, gritty storyline, a lot of blood, a lot of violence, all the way to the actual reveal of the game, it being more colorful, it being akin to a fantasy outer world, which, if you think about it, is what it actually should have been from the get-go. And it's called a lot of flack for not being the game it's meant to be, for not being the game that people thought it was meant to be. But we don't do that on this channel, and the reason why we don't do that on this channel is because I am an Obsidian fan. I love everything Obsidian does. An Obsidian RPG, once you get it, you get it. Once you're attuned to the storytelling, you're attuned to how they create their characters, you're attuned to the actual world building, the lore, especially from their perspective of certain worlds. If it's your thing, it's your thing. There's nothing you can do about that. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. What we're actually doing today is we're actually going to talk about certain things that haven't been spoken about, or things we've actually learned from the recent deep dive all the way back to the actual announcements of the game. So we're going to start with the very first thing is, clearly the game is set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. Now, spoiler alert, I have no idea what the Pillars of Eternity universe is. I've heard of the game, right? I've played certain CRPGs like Baldur's Gate 1 and obviously the acclaimed Baldur's Gate 3, because who hasn't? Everyone and their mom has played Baldur's Gate 3. It's just one of those games that you have to play because it's just that good. The Pillars of Eternity universe apparently is a world very similar to Dungeons and Dragons, very similar to maybe a very fantasy telling of the Divinity Original Sin. So I'm expecting something of that nature with Avowed, because it's set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. Now, if you can leave in the comment section down below, if you're a Pillars of Eternity fan, if you're a fan of the franchise, tell me about what things I should know, tell me about things I should read up, tell me about things I should actually take into consideration before going into Avowed. Give me the timeline of when Avowed actually takes place in the Pillars of Eternity universe, and we can actually talk about that in like a later video or something. The second thing I'm actually looking forward to in Avowed is, it's an Obsidian game. It being an Obsidian game definitely means you know for a fact that every single decision you make, every single decision you actually put into place has an immediate impact on the world, has an immediate impact on the storytelling, the branches, the different branches you can go with, how the story intertwines. Characters dying, characters surviving. We're not entirely sure whether it's going to be similar to like maybe a Mass Effect, with how you can actually lose your companions if you make certain wrong decisions. But if it's an Obsidian game, I'm expecting there to be choices that are made that affects the whole story of the game moving forward. Hopefully it's actually really implemented in the world in an actual sensible way, not like, oh, you did this instead of doing that, and you get a JPEG saying, oh, this is what happened when you did this. If you had done this, something else would have happened. Nah, that's so superficial. We need something more implemented. We need something more functional. I'm expecting that from Avowed. It's an Obsidian game. I'm expecting that level of detail when it comes to the storytelling, because you don't play an Obsidian game for the combat. You don't play an Obsidian game for, oh, the fast-paced shooting or whatever. You play an Obsidian game because of the storytelling, the lore, the world building, the characters. That's why you enjoy Obsidian games. That's why I reckon the decisions you make in this game are going to be very pivotal to whether the game is going to be a hit or a miss. Another thing we learn about the game is it's not an open world game. So anyone who knows me, you know for a fact that I've spoken about how I've been open world fatigued for a long period of time because of just going into games like Tears of the Kingdom, Skyrim, which is back in the day. I don't even know why I mentioned Skyrim. Tears of the Kingdom, Elden Ring, even though I haven't really played much of it. I've only played about 15 hours. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh my god. I've put in easily over 600 hours into, what am I talking about? I've put in easily over 1,000 hours into big, massive open world games. And you have the cases like Valhalla, which are like, dog, why? You know, I'm very open world fatigued. I won't say I'm anti-open world, but I'm not. I think I've left the boat of being, oh, anything open world is going to be a hit, because the open world design of certain games don't really do as much, which is why games like Black Myth Wukong, what I spoke about last week, is something I'm really looking forward to because it's more open hub. It's more, everything in the game has a reason why it's there. It's not procedurally generated like how most open world games are. It's not vague. Everything has a reason for it being placed in this particular spot in the world, and it's still explorable to a degree, but you have a particular path you should lead into, or at least 2 or 3 different paths you should lead into to actually partake in missions and stuff like that. And finally, the actual thing that they actually should have spoken about more, and I think they really did this in the deep dive that they had. I think Kari Patel, who is the creative director of this particular game, did in the deep dive had to do with, we actually have a third-person camera. There's third-person mode and there's first-person mode, which, if you think about it, right, it's where that this particular thing isn't used more often than not. It's so weird because nowadays I find it weird that a lot of RPGs focus on first person and like, yeah, we like first person, that's what we're going into and we're sticking with that. I remember playing Skyrim. The very first time I played Skyrim in 2011 changed my life because I was just able to live in the world as a Black Norseman. And back then it was 2011, so I was probably like, I was 14. Yeah, 14. So just living in that world, being able to see my character when I put on a new set of armor, when I have a new set of weapons, the magic I use, just the animation from the character from behind the character's back. Things like that do more for me than looking at someone's hands and just boom, 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 boom. Now, mind you, if this was a first-person shooter, that's a different story, that's a different ballgame. But I'm more than happy that we have a third-person mode in an RPG because it only feels like that's just the right choice of how we should actually go about doing things. The Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption, Tears of the Kingdom. Red Dead Redemption is an RPG, but you get where I'm going with this. Open world RPG games should be in third person. That's just me, but hey. So those are all the things we know so far about Avowed, things I'm excited for about Avowed, things we know for a fact are going to play a very instrumental role in the game coming out and in the game wanting releases. We're still not sure of the release dates. There was a rumor that it was November 12th, but that's been taken down, and now so I'm expecting this game to come out this year. I'm expecting Indiana Jones to actually be pushed into 2025, February or something. So what do you guys think? Leave in the comment section down below what you think about the game. Leave in the comment section down below what you want from the game. And oh, for all the Pillars of Eternity fans who have actually seen this video, I need you guys to actually let me know what is the best way to go about getting into the Pillars of Eternity universe. Currently, I'm playing Sekiro, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to play the game anytime soon. But if there are like books, comics, things I could read to actually ingrain myself into this world, I would be more than happy to actually take any suggestions from you guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope to see you soon. And there's going to be a surprise for you guys on the channel. Trust me, you notice it when the content on this channel, the quality of the content on this channel is going to change when you guys notice what you notice, right? I'm not going to say much, but you notice it eventually. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope to hear from you soon. Peace.